Okay, it's Friday again, which means that it is Feather Friday. And this particular one that we're going to do today is one of my favorites, and it is what I call the flower feather. Now, my kids seem to think it looks like a tooth, like a molar. So I've heard it called the man's flower, but basically it's up, a hump, and down. Okay, that's the shape of the feather. Okay, so we're going to go and I like to add the little spine in there, the little stem. I think that looks super pretty. And I particularly like to backtrack there, but it looks just as nice if you leave some space in between. Okay? So it works both ways. Don't feel like you have to get all the way down to the spine. Okay, then we'll come down and do this side. Remember, you guys should be turning your paper in all different directions so that you can do these feathers in all different directions. That way you won't be having to turn your quilt to accomplish borders, okay? And then your wreaths, they'll all look the same. Actually, they won't all not look the same, but they'll all look pretty. Now I tend to do my little bump in. I've seen some people more give it a heart shape, and you can do that as well. So these are all feathers I teach in my Feathers for the Timid, because they are super, super easy. And with practice, I don't know anybody that hasn't gotten them. Okay? So here we're going to do this, and I love this Curlicue shape. It's one of my favorites. You'll see it in a lot of my quilts. I'm going to wrap that around that way. Okay, so when we get to the inside, these feathers get lazy as well. Oops, I'm going over that little, my tracing paper was folded. Give it an echoed spine, back down. And again with these, short and skinny, tall and skinny, little and fat. They come in all different shapes and sizes. Okay, love that feather. This one looks really pretty if you come back and you do some echoing and add some fun curls to it. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of fun things you can do there. Okay. So here we are back at our wreath, and we're going to do the same thing. Come out to our guidelines. That's why I always say people should have, whether you like templates or not, you really do want to make sure you have a set in your studio, because you can mark these great guidelines for your wreaths. You can also eyeball it, but sometimes I'm not so good at eyeballing it. Oops. Paper shifted a little bit there. We'll move to the inside for our lazy feathers. And I have room for one more. There we go. Okay, super pretty. Okay, and then we're going to come and do our straight one. This would be a great sashing treatment. And what if we didn't put that stem in and we just bounce from side to side? Look how pretty that is. That would be a really quick sashing or border treatment, wouldn't it? Okay, love that one. And that's the flower feather. Well, we're going to move on over to the machines and we'll stitch that one out. All right, here we are. We're going to do what I call the flower feather, what my kids call the tooth feather. So I'm going to go up one side and then up the other. So let's see. Okay, so far I'm thinking that the long arm feather is the easiest for me. These are definitely challenging. Definitely challenging. Okay, let's come on over here. Hopefully you guys are having some success at home trying these. Let's try the wreath. Okay, getting a little better. Let's do our straight of away. Okay, and there's my flower feather. It got better along the way. Okay, so there is the tooth feather. Go on over to our Curlicue. I'm not even going to do the inside because I think it looks pretty without. Okay, I'm going to move on over to our wreath. Start at 9 o'clock. Again, remember, it's the angle of that first feather that's important. And there is our wreath. Okay, and we're gonna move on over and do our straight one. Now this one is the one that I'm gonna do without the stem in there. I think it looks pretty.